$17. Interesting, last week's Special Force and Game Bid were virtually together in the market. And even though Game Bid was a comfortable winner, I didn't think there was too much wrong with Special Force's performance. In fact, at $17, you'd almost have to consider it in exotics or even a little sneaky saver if you have loaded up on the mare, or who on the tote, as we've mentioned, probably a little bit of unders. Just having a look at a few other place chances outside the four we've mentioned. Well, Jarrawarra's got to have a sneaky go because he is pretty faultless. He'll get away quickly, and he's only a 5-year-old, this horse, and he's just gone through the grades nicely. He was in last year's Inter Dominion. He was just thereabouts at the finish. Was probably outclassed, but he was there. Waikari Gold is a quick beginner for Henry McDermott. The horse faultless early and just tends to bat away, so the 3,300 won't be any problem for it. Sterling Kiwi was up to its old tricks last week, galloped at around the 150-metre mark, but stretched like Cucaracha a couple of times in recent months. Twebby Twatter has certainly done things on the improve since joining David Aiken's stable. Form was always pretty good, but pretty much like all the horses in David's stable right now, just seems to be getting better and better all the time. Aquinas, a good run again last week, galloped at the start, and that's always his problem. Not suggesting Aquinas can win here, but certainly it's a horse that might be there for a placing and definitely down the track. I believe actually Michael Murray's contemplating taking the horse back to New Zealand, where he was imported from, to contest the Rowe Cup, which will be something of an irony, because I don't think Aquinas left New Zealand with any major rap. Let's have a look at Adam Hamilton. He hasn't arrived. He must be still betting. I know he's been pretty heavily involved in this particular race. Expect a couple of runners. Maybe he's just going to have something more on La Cucaracha through the generosity of bookmakers. So that'll take us away from down here. Here's Kevin Thompson to call the Trotting Championship.
And thank you, Sam. They're all at the start here now, and very shortly they'll be called up to their respective marks here for the Garrard's Horse and Hound Inter Dominion Trotters Championship final. Marathon event, 3,370 metres. 4 laps of the Harold Park circuit. And they're down here at the start. Still not quite moving up, but they shortly will be. Aquinas, Jacob's Wes. We've got Georgian Flight, Queen's Rhapsody circling around, Jarrawarra, Wakari Gold and Game Bid. Truscott Steel. Now the favourite is La Cucaracha now into 160, 560 Game Bid. He's met with a bit of support here tonight, Game Bid, to beat the favourite. He's a little bit better on track than he is showing on the tote, but he's a clear second favourite. Brilliant winner here last week, leading most of the way. They ran a track record time in scoring, beating Jarrawarra and Twebby Twatter in its heat. And is the main danger to La Cucaracha, although I would think luck would be the main danger to La Cucaracha in a big field like this, 14 runners. She's got to weave her way through the field at some stage, and really luck's going to be a very important factor for her to come from the position she's on 25 metres behind. But she's a great mare. Take a Moment won the race last year in Brisbane, and Special Force won the race in 1999 in Auckland. So a couple of previous winners here. Now they're moving up gradually for a start in the trotters. Jarrawarra, Georgian Flight, Waikari Gold, Aquinas coming up. Sterling Kiwi. All right, Greg, the Trotters Championship final about to get underway. The back markers are La Cucaracha and Take a Moment on the 25 metres, Special Force on the 20. Now they've just about cleared the tapes here for these back markers to come up. Queen's Rhapsody about to straighten up, and they'll be set. Down to the judge, 4 laps of the Harold Park circuit. And coming up is Game Bid. Queen's Rhapsody now on the second line of the front, straightening up, and they're almost set. Game Bid still just a bit side on. And Aquinas is rearing. Game Bid just a little bit side on, and Aquinas continues to rear here. Set now. Oh, the one nearly through the front of the tapes here, Jacob's Whiz, but fortunately he didn't go right through and was able to be reined in here. So Again, these couple giving the trouble at the start are Aquinas and Queen's Rhapsody. Game Bid just getting side on a bit. Aquinas doesn't want to stand there, and Queen's Rhapsody's on the move. Might get them this time. They're off. Away they go on the trotters. Game Bid a little bit slow out. Waikari Gull the first to go. Gerrawara's begun badly, as did Truscott Steel, and King Wiz has galloped away. Scraggly old start early. Waikari Gull went to the lead. Aquinas has struck trouble, and Game Bid goes into second early from Jacobs Wiz and Sterling Kiwi, and then Georgian Flight. Now, La Cucaracha's been able to miss all the trouble. By gee, there was some bad ones away. La Cucaracha's got up at a little worse than midfield early, and Waikari Gull's raced to a clear lead down the back. Leads out 2.5 lengths to Game Bid, 3 lengths to Jacobs Wiz, 2.5 Georgian Flight, Sterling Kiwi. And then Special Force and Truscott Steel a length away, then to La Cucaracha on the outside of Queen's Rhapsody. 6 or 8 to Twebby Twatter, 10 to Aquinas, and then King Wiz, and Take a Moment's a mile back, and a long break to Gerrawara. Out of the back, straight up the side with a bit over 3 to go, and Waikari Gold sets the tempo. He's out by 2 lengths now on Game Bid, 2.5 to Jacobs Wiz, 1.5 Georgian Flight. Sterling Kiwis without cover, tracked up by Special Force. In turn, La Cucaracha tracks Special Force, so she's already in midfield, La Cucaracha. Truscott Steel's on the inside, a length away to Queen's Rhapsody. 4 lengths off to Twebby Twatter. Another 4 to Aquinas, and then Take a Moment, who faces a huge task. 5 lengths further back then to King Wiz, and back at the tail of the field is Gerrawara. Into the back they travel, and it's still Waikari Gold, the leader from Game Bid and Jacobs Wiz. Sterling Kiwi leading the outside runners, trailed by Special Force. Georgian Flighters 4 back on the pegs. A length away then on the insiders, Truscott Steel. La Cucaracha outside it, followed by Queen's Rhapsody. 2 to Twebby Twatter, about 3 lengths to Aquinas, 2 more to Take a Moment, 5 to King Wiz, and 2 to Gerrawara at the tail of the field. 2,000 metres left to go, and Waikari Gold sends them along in the lead. Game Bid with a trail on it, second, a length away, third Jacobs Wiz. Sterling Kiwi is without cover. Special Force parked on its back. On the inside, Georgian Fight. Now, La Cucaracha is moving up 3 wide here. She's going to get moving, followed by Truscott Steel, and behind those then there's Twebby Twatter. In behind them, Queen's Rhapsody. Well back is Aquinas, a gap to Take a Moment, and 4 lengths to King Wiz, and last is Gerrawara. Here comes the mare now. They're making their moves as they come down to the judge. Still 2 rounds to go. Waikari Gold joined by Game Bid on the outside, and La Cucaracha's got up there 3 wide. A length to Jacobs Wiz on the inside of Sterling Kiwi. Then Special Force. Aquinas is coming around them 3 wide. Georgian Flight 3 back on the inside. A length to Truscott Steel, Twebby Twatter. And then Take a Moment and Queen's Rhapsody about 3 to Gerrawara. And 2 lengths to King Wiz at the tail of the field. Up the back now, 1,300 metres to go, and they've still got her out there 3 wide, La Cucaracha. She's got to do it tough for the last 2 laps as Waikari Gold's the leader from Game Bid. Third is Jacobs Wiz. Sterling Kiwi the 1 and 3 wide, La Cucaracha. Onto its back now in the 3 wide line is Aquinas. Georgian Flighters 3 back on the inside. Special Force 3 back in the middle as they bunch up now. Then Truscott Steel 3 wide with the trailers. Take a Moment onto its back, Gerrawara. Twebby Twatter in the middle from Queen's Rhapsody, and 2 to King Wiz. Here's the bell now. Around the corner and down to the judge, and joint the leader, Waikari Gold. He's been there every step of the way from Game Bid. La Cucaracha still out there, posted 3 wide. Jacobs Wiz behind the leader. Sterling Kiwi in the middle. Special Force getting onto the back of La Cucaracha. Aquinas is starting to drop off. On the inside, Georgian Flight. Then Twebby Twatter, followed by Truscott Steel, Queen's Rhapsody. Take a Moment. Second last is Gerrawara, and 2 to King Wiz. The quarters 30.7 and 31.9. They've trotted 62, 6.5, and it's Waikari Gold narrowly from Game Bid. Third Jacobs Wiz. La Cucaracha's been out there 3 wide for a long way, but she's still giving. Sterling Kiwi in the centre. Special Force goes off stride and breaks, and then Truscott Steel and Georgian Flight inside the 400, 30.7, and Game Bid a half. La Cucaracha, she's still giving something, the mare. She's been a Herculean run out there all the way. Waikari Gold under pressure, and then Sterling Kiwi running on, but Game Bid has got away on the turn. La Cucaracha's battling in second spot. She's still there, and then Sterling Kiwi, but Game Bid in front. The mare's giving her all. La Cucaracha, she's trying hard, but Game Bid is holding La Cucaracha. It's an upset, and New Zealand takes the trotters into Dominion. Game Bid from La Cucaracha, tight for third, Sterling Kiwi or Waikari Gold. Then Twebby Twatter, followed by Jacobs Wiz, Queen's Rhapsody, Georgian Flight, Truscott Steel, Aquinas. Well back was Special Force, Gerrawara, Take a Moment, and King Wiz is last. It's a New Zealand victory, Game Bid. and Gavin Lang have been too good here for the mare La Cucaracha, who done it mighty hard out there 3 deep for the last 2 laps. Impossible to sit out there and keep going. But she did as best she could, and Game Bed has held it to win. And it'll be a photo for 3rd. It's a New Zealand win again in the Trotters Championship final, with Game Bed trained by Brent Lilly and driven by Gavin Lang. The time for the race is 4:22.2. The mile rate 25.2. And the quarters 30.7, 32, 30.7, 29.8. And it's Game Bed, Gavin Lang, taking out the Inter-Dominion Trotters Championship finals where weight completed placings.
Well, the fans / connections screaming home Game Bid, who when the Kiwis came across from New Zealand for the Inter-Dominion Championships was the bottom seed of the pack. He was last minute. Brent Lilly and company decided, well, he's been in good form, we'll send him over, see what happens. And he's ended up, thanks to a brilliant run by the horse and an exceptional drive by Gavin Lang, winning the Inter-Dominion Trotting Grand Final at the expense of a Game La Cucaracha. We'll hear from Gavin Lang with Sam Natai trackside just after this race from Geelong, race 7.
Right, thanks Sheldon. Graham's at the boxes here now. They're at the start for the next event on the card, and they'll move in very shortly. We've got a Redcliffe race, which has got a Gloucester Park harness race on at the moment, and a Redcliffe harness right over virtually right at the end of this, so I'd say we'll probably move in here at Geelong. Yeah, starting signal about to be given by the stewards here. About to move in, row 7. Pretty wide market. Charming Havoc at $4, $5.50 Barney's Day. Starting signal, about to move in. 670 Hex Fury, 480 Salsa, 540 Kid Soprano. Race 7, Charming Havoc, going into 1. Big Bingo on 3, Hex Fury 5, Salsa 7. So come in. Barney's Day, Warrior Bath, Casino Court, Kid Soprano. Almost set now, green light. Race 7 boxed. Ready, all set. Ready, racing. Slow to move out. There would have been Salsa back near the tail, and settling into stride here as they settle fully into stride and going through on the inside. To take up the running was Charming Havoc to lead early, tackled around them by Kid Soprano. They were followed then by Barney's Day. Big Bingle. Salsa goes to the outside, attempts to run on well back, then came Hex Fury into the straight now. Charming Havoc is clear. Salsa right down the outside. Barney's Day, but Charming Havoc gets away and wins it pretty easily in the run home from Barney's Day. Charming Havoc, Barney's Day, maybe Salsa over Big Bingle, followed by Hex Fury. The fairway back in the race there, Warrior Booth, followed by Blue Shot amongst the tail enders.
So 1, 2 and a photo for 3rd between I think 7 and 8 at Geelong. Sam Natai is now with Gavin Lang.
You were pretty confident to just sit there, and he felt like, or looked like he was feeling pretty good a long way up.
He was always travelling very well, Sam, and he had a rest for the first couple of laps, so I thought, well, he can do the rest from now.
In the end, even time for a victory salute.
Yeah, well, something getting wrong with me as I'm getting older. That's twice in a month, so I'm not sure what's happening.
Well, this Harold Park circuit's been pretty good to you too. Sassy Sarah, Manifold Bay, and now Game Bid.
Yeah, well, give me a horse that's good enough and I'll win them.
Yes, and that's normally the case with Gavin Lang. Ladies and gentlemen, Gavin Lang, Game Bid.
Unbelievable result, Gavin Lang on Game Bid. Back home, you know, he'd struggled to probably make the top 10 trotters, but he's always been a great exponent of the trotting gate. Come true for these guys. This horse raced, its lead-up race coming to the Inter-Dominions was way down in Invercargill. And it raced against horses that were like C2, Class 3 trotters and beat them. But on the back of that form and some good form, admittedly, in Premier Company back home in New Zealand, this horse won on New Zealand Cup there at Addington in the support races and had been going honest races whenever lined up against the guns without ever threatening to go past the taker moments and what have you of this world, has rocked over to Harold Park in Sydney on an afterthought and picked up the prize at the expense of an extremely game La Cucaracha. Man, did she get set a task in that final, but unlike Moonee Valley, she just couldn't, even though she gave everything, get past Game Bid, who'd been driven just an absolute treat by Gavin Lang. He got off and pushed La Cucaracha 3 wide with a couple of laps to go, and she was out there for the rest of it. Gavin Lang, a master stroke again. He's done that on many occasions. Of some of the other favourites, take a moment, watched his copybook at the start. Normally a very reliable beginner. He lost about 50 metres at the start. And Special Force, who was on the back of La Cucaracha going down the back straight, went for a gallop for some unknown reason with about 500 metres to go, and that put paid to his chances.
As the most prolific owner-breeder of the standard-bred horse in this country, and I refer to Mick Lombardo. He's based in Perth, but his horses are all over the place, from Tasmania to Darwin and all ports in between. Mick, welcome to Sydney.
Thank you very much.
Lovely to see you again.
Thank you.
I asked you this question a year ago. How many are you feeding all up?
Down to about 230 at the moment.
The numbers are down.
Yeah. Well, it's just finished the sale, of course, you know.
You sold some.
And maybe I haven't taken the weanlings into consideration. So,
yeah.
But anyhow.
Now, Mick, you own this marvellous mare, tailor-made Lombo, having her 110th race start tonight in the grand final, and win, lose or draw, this is it.
Yes, win, lose or draw, she's finished racing. She may appear at Moonee Valley just to do a lap of honour, but as far as racing goes, she's finished.
Here are the statistics. Mick, prize money almost 1.4 million. 109 starts, 49 wins. Chris Alford has driven her in the vast majority of her races, yes. And Jane Davies has done a superb job with her.
Absolutely. She's a very close friend of Jane's.
How do you keep a mare racing for so long and for that many miles and keep her attitude intact and keep her sound?
Well, I guess Jane. You know, her and Jane get on well together, and Jane will be a very sad lady tonight, I'd say.
Now, Mick, she's never been unsound in a clinical sense, but you tell me she's had a lot of little hiccups and problems along the way. She runs second here, Mick. This is the heat last Friday night behind Shaker, and your famous colours are coming around the turn.
Comes home like a train.
Off the track, white with the red Maltese cross. She's out of camera's range just at the moment, but watch the left side of screen, and tailor-made Lombo. No hope, of course, with Shaker Maker, but look at her find the line to get up and earn enough points to get into the grand final.
Yeah, well, I didn't see it as clear as that last week, so yeah.
Well, you say Jane Davies will be a little sad tonight, so will Mick Lombardo.
I will be, but I'll be also happy that she's safely in the paddock and where I think she should be at this time of her life.
Can she run a place?
I think she can, yeah. I mean, she has just done everything absolutely correct this week. Everything. And she's pig rooting around the joint. She's just there's no excuses anyhow. If she doesn't, there's no excuses.
Mick, congratulations on all you've done for the sport in this nation. And stick around for a few years yet, won't you?
I'll try and do that. I am 65 shortly, John.
Yeah, but you don't look it, son. I know that's a predictable statement, but you don't look it. OK, we're going back downstairs now to Adam Hamilton, who is talking to the Gaffs, Brian and Matthew.
Up in the stable area, and what a pair we've caught up with here. I won't say a history-making couple, but Brian, always a thrill, obviously, to drive in a race with Matthew, but an Inter-Dominion final, something else.
Yeah, it is something else, Adam. It's just nice to be here, let alone driving one of the main chances and competing against my son, and it's pretty emotional it'll be when we get out there, and who knows.
It's been a whirlwind week for you. If there's any pressure, you're not showing it at the moment.
Oh, I'm not too perturbed. I've got the good draw, nice horse. What'll be will be, but, you know, it's going to be fun.
We'll talk more about Shaker in just a moment, but Matthew, for you as well, you've worked so closely with your dad over a long time. You've got the Wally Walton colours on there as well with the tie.
Oh, I don't think that'll help me in the end, but yeah, I think for Dad's sake, I think he's probably had a bit of a lucky run there. I've had all the pressure up here and got my horse into the final. He just gets the plum drive. So, but you know, we're both going to be trying real hard, and hopefully one of us can get the bickies.
Well, you've driven against each other that many times at home in track work and that sort of thing, but to do it in front of what will be a capacity crowd here tonight in an Inter-Dominion final, you'd love to get the last shot at Dad, wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah, certainly. I don't think you'd hear the end of it if I bet him in the Inter-Dominion final and the photo finish, but once again, all I can say is I hope we both get a trouble-free run and one of us gets a bit of luck.
Brian, you've been talking very confidently about Shaker Maker during the week. You won the Victoria Cup on this horse a little more than a year ago. You think he's actually better now?
He looked like that to me when he won the other night. I thought that if he drew 7, I thought this horse could win. And now he's drawn 3, and so I'm more confident.
They say you're one of the best mobile gate drivers around. That'll be a nice ingredient to have from that draw.
No, I wouldn't say. I wouldn't agree on that. I broke a few up out of the gate trying too hard. I'll be trying hard tonight.
All right, Matthew, to you, Wally Walton. 2 terrific runs to start the series, particularly at Newcastle. We thought, wow, this horse is right on target here. And then a blip, that's all we can call it, last week.
Yeah, that's right. He's probably been below his best through the whole series, even though his first 2 runs were quite well. But I'm pleased to say that he's never looked better and felt better, and he's just, this week has been that little worry that I've had has cleared right up, and he'll run the best of his ability, and you'll see a better horse tonight.
Can we get him back to that form that he ran up to in the Hunter Cup, where with a bit of luck he would have won?
Yes, you will. You'll see the horse absolutely strive tonight to the best he's ever gone, and it's a tricky draw mine. One will have to sort of, one rain could make me look pretty good, Paul, the other one might make me look bad, but if I get that ounce of luck, I'm sure you'll be running home super.
To you, Brian, in closing, it was a couple of years ago in Melbourne where John Justice asked you for a little bit of driving advice, or at least your thoughts going into the final. He listened, he sat back and won the race. Shaker Maker's that much of a different horse tonight that you think he can do it all up front?
Well, it's a totally different racetrack. You wouldn't want to be doing what John done at the last Inter Dominion. He wouldn't win sitting back where John would do it tonight. He's going to be in front outside the leader and real hard to beat.
All right, so to the punters out there thinking about hopping on, you've got your vote of confidence?
I'm very confident at this stage.
Brian and Matthew Gath will play a very strong hand in the Inter Dominion Grand Final, and isn't this a funny old game? Had you said to Brian Gath even 10 days ago, you'll be driving Shaker Maker in the Grand Final, he'd have had you certified. John Justice, I think, was quietly confident his appeal would be upheld in Melbourne, and it came as a hell of a shock to him when it wasn't. And Brian Gath is the substitute driver, something he's done before with success on this particular horse, Shaker Maker.
Be close to 20, so I mean I can't tell, but it looks even more packed because it's so close to the track, and it's such a great little environment anyway. So it's a huge crowd, and it's exciting.
You'll be interested to know that 30 years ago this was an average Friday night crowd. Friday night in Sydney was trot night. You know, when a young bloke was taking out a young lady for the first time, where would he go?
See, Hondo Gretton and Paleface Adios going for it out here, I can imagine. I would have been there with bells, with nappies on, actually.
Well, the runners are still in the birdcage, Sheldon, so there's little doubt this is going to run late. We're only 3 minutes off advertised post time, and they're still in the birdcage. This could run anything up to 5 minutes late. There's a section of the crowd, and for old timers, you know, who remember the golden days here at Harold Park, that does the heart good. Standing room only. Here is Adam Hamilton with Lance Justice.
Thanks, Tappy. Yes, Lance Justice joining us. And Lance, a wonderful opportunity again on this horse, safe and sound. Not a bad position to be in, going into the race without a lot of pressure.
No, there's no pressure there. He's just got to follow him through and get a good run and do what he did in the Hunter Cup.
The rebirth of this horse, if you like, as a serious Grand Circuit horse has been when he's been driven quietly. Obviously have to go back to those tactics tonight.
Well, he can't be driven any other way because he's off the second row, and you really can't drive a bad race from the second row.
What do you think about his performances through the series? I know you've had your own horse up here as well, but do you think he's, even though his form maybe doesn't say it, do you think he's still going as well as, say, Hunter Cup time?
Hard to say, but I think he doesn't probably quite handle the track as good as he'd handle Moonee Valley, but you know, those big races, anything can happen.
Well, it was nice to beat your brother John, I guess, in the Hunter Cup, of course. Going round again, how do you see the race unfolding? You know these horses as well as anybody. Is Shaker Maker, does he have that stranglehold on the race, a lot of people think?
I don't. It depends on how the race is run. I mean, but, you know, you look at it and you say, yes, Shaker Maker straight to the front, Courage under the fire outside of him, and end of the penny section. But this is an Inter-Dominion final, and you know, they don't just sit up and let horses have it their own way. I mean, there'll be someone there that's come a long way and qualified and thought, well, I'm here for 3 minutes, so let's make the most of it, and let's let some fireworks go.
And that's what you need, isn't it, on Safe and Sound? You need there to be plenty of pressure, basically all the way.
In the Hunter Cup, Safe and Sound was the only horse, was the last horse to make his run in the race. And virtually, we want the same thing tonight.
Well, people said, flashback, we own a Warrior. When he won it here, he was sort of 3 back on the fence, got into the action when you need to. That's probably the scenario you'd be hoping for.
Yeah, I think, you know, maybe everybody's thinking it's going to be a pretty quiet run affair and Shake and Make it straight to the front. But, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if everybody sets them alight. So.
Lance Justice there with Idom, and the Marching Koalas on track at the moment, entertaining this whopping crowd. Now, Sheldon.
Across Australasia would be an understatement. Whoever you're cheering for, give it your best shot. Kevin Thompson standing by to call the 2002 Inter-Dominion Grand Final. I think Shaker Maker will win too. Go Shaker, go whoever you're cheering for. Let's hope it's a clean run race. Kevin Thompson standing by for what would have to be yet another one of his gems.
Gate is ready for a start, and they're about to be called up. Now the gate is ready, and they're starting to move forward. Stars and Stripes on the outside. Big Town Walton, Tailor-Made Lombo. Courage Under Fire, Shaker Maker, Darubalji at it again. Wally Walton, Smooth Satin coming up with Safe and Sound, Trois Frères and Joe Fess as the mobile is rolling now. Gate moving off. Runners are coming forward. It's 240 for Shaker Maker, 380 for Courage Under Fire, 720 for Smooth Satin, 910 Stars and Stripes. They're all set. Here we go. They're set. Off. Racing in the final, Courage Under Fire and Shaker Maker have both come out flying. Shaker Maker to the pegs first. Gath pulls the stick. Courage Under Fire tries to cross him, but Shaker Maker's going to hold out Courage Under Fire. At it again, third, and look at Stars and Stripes away quickly up to fourth early. Joe Fess on the inside from Darubalji. They're followed by, caught a little bit wide out of the straight there, Wally Walton, Trois Frères going up on the inside. A length away to Safe and Sound and Smooth Satin. Big Town Walton and Tailor-Made Lombo was last. Well, Shaker Maker was able to keep the lead. At it again's on his back. Courage Under Fire without cover, but there goes Wally Walton. Quickly up on the outside to sit outside the leader to give Courage the 1-1. Joe Fess, 3 back on the inside, 1 to Stars and Stripes, and then Trois Frères. Darubalji is next from Safe and Sound, 2 to Smooth Satin. Big Town Walton on the inside, and the length away is Tailor-Made Lombo. Shaker Maker will bring them into the straight, and he'll slow them up immediately, Brian Gath. He leads 3/4 to Wally Walton. Here comes Smooth Satin. He's off quickly around the field now, and he's going to go up, and Courage Under Fire's come out in front of him here. And as they come down to the judge with 2 to go, Shaker Maker joined again by Courage Under Fire and Smooth Satin continue to come around them. At it again behind the leader, then Wally Walton. Trois Frères on the inside. Joe Fess has managed to get away from the pegs midfield. Stars and Stripes after good beginnings drifted back around Big Time Walton. Followed by Darubalji, Tailor-Made Lombo and Safe and Sound as last. The lead time was only 1:11.2, which wasn't all that quick. And Shaker Maker dictates the terms into the back from Smooth Satin, and there goes Joe Fess now. Joe Fess rushes up on the outside of the leader. At it again behind the leader is third. 1 out, 1 back is Smooth Satin. Fifth is Trois Frères. Sixth the outside, Courage Under Fire. He's got back to a little better than midfield. Big Town Walton, 4 back the inside. Wally Walton now, 4 back on the outside of Tailor-Made Lombo. Third last, Stars and Stripes. Second last, Darubalji, and last is Safe and Sound. First quarter for the last mile, 30.4, and it's Shaker Maker. He's 3/4 on Joe Fess. Leaders back third.